everybody is telling stress is very natural, and I would like to make it very clear that stress is not at all natural. Stress is not at all natural. Stress is due to others. That is another myth. Stress is not due to others. Stress is due to congestion of thoughts in our mind, and congestion of thoughts occurs because of a large number of thoughts generated in our mind per unit time. And who generates the thought? I generate the thought. So who is responsible for stress? I am responsible for stress. Everyone has to realize that I am responsible for stress. So if I can clean up my thoughts, clean the kachada from my mind, then stress will automatically be reduced, stress can automatically be managed. And stress is not natural. Stress is not natural. The animals are not under stress. Had it been natural, then they would also have gone, they would also be taking antidepressant. They don't take that. Okay. So apparent causes of stress. Why we are stressed? We are stressed because of past about which we can do nothing. Past is past. Whatever has happened, and you can do only very little about that. Then we get stressed because of people, and you can do nothing about what others, how others will behave, how others will respond to you, how others will treat you, what others will speak about you. You have no control, but still we get stressed. So we get stressed because of past, people and situation, and incidentally we have no control on even any one of them. We have no control on the past has passed. We have no control on other people, and we have no control over the situation. So if we want to manage stress and manage our mind, then we have to be very careful about the three things which are not controllable by us. When things are not in control, don't try to control them, because you cannot control. Can you control if the cyclone has to come? The cyclone will come. You cannot control. You can only think about how to save yourself from cyclone. So how you can save yourself from people, how you can save yourself from situations, that only you can focus on. Alright. Similarly, you can manage your mind and you can clean your mind to a large extent by avoiding 4 C's. And these 4 C's, if I'll list them out, you'll find that they are very prevalent in our day-to-day life. One is complain. From morning to evening, we keep complaining about everyone except us. We keep complaining about the director, we keep complaining about the HOD, the supervisor, the office people, the technician, okay, the editor of the journal who has rejected my paper. So we keep complaining about many persons right from the beginning. At home we complain about wife, we complain about husband, we complain about parents, about children. So one C is complain, one C is criticize. So we are very good at criticizing others, because we always think that everything wrong is happening because of others, and it can only be set right by me. That is a strong belief in many of us, and driven by that we criticize people around us. So criticism, complaining and comparing. So we also compare. The one of the major cause of stress for me is because my neighbor has a Honda City and I have a Maruti 800. So I always compare with my neighbor, I always compare with my colleague. So my colleague has become, say, professor and I am still an assistant professor. So this comparison brings stress to me. So I should be careful about avoiding 4 C's. What are they? Complaining, then criticizing, comparing and competing. The competition is another thing. See, in true sense, there is no competition in the world. In true sense. Although we see the world is very competitive, unless you are running in the race, you are out of the race, and you have to be competitive. This is a highly competitive world and so on. But see, competitions का मतलब क्या है? Competitions are always among equals, and the God's natural law says that no two individuals are equal. you are not exactly same as another individual. Not even our eyelids, not even our fingerprints. So they are all, we are unique. So everyone is unique. So where is the competition? So if there is a competition, there is a competition among the unequals. There are no equals in the world, so there is no, everybody is unique, everybody is different from the rest of the universe. So where is the competition? So do not compete. See, if I compete with say Tata or Ambani, then I will fail miserably. So if, like, because I have assumed, but I will not compete with Tata and Ambani, because I am believing that Tata and Ambanis are different from me, but I don't believe that my colleague is different from me. That is the whole problem. My colleague is also different from me. My neighbor is also different from me. Just like I should not compete with Tata, I should not compete with my neighbor also. So that should be the understanding. And once we have this understanding, a lot of stress unnecessarily generated in our mind and making us physically and mentally weak can be avoided, can be reduced. To wind up, I am giving you small tips about managing your mind. So if your mind gets congested with thoughts, because I told you that a normal human mind generates 35 to 40 thoughts per per minute, and if this number goes to 60, 70, 80, and prevails there for a very long time, then we suffer from mental stress. So when you are feeling that you are stressed, you must stress out. How? There are short-term measures and there are long-term measures. The short-term measures are: take deep breath. When you take deep breath, you inhale a lot of oxygen, and oxygens are filled in your cells and you feel refreshed, and that reduces your stress. You can go for a walk. When you go for a walk, automatically you go for deep breathing, and that helps. You can reverse count from 20 to 1. You can take a glass of water. You can listen to your favorite music, your favorite song. Close your eyes and listen to your song. That is a kind of meditation as well. You can call a visitors, you can call a friend's room. You can't visit these days, so you can make a call. And if you are stressed because of a failure, then instead of crying over the failure, try to celebrate it with a cup of tea or with a piece of sweet or with a cup of coffee. Celebrate a failure, and you will find that your stress will go out and your energy level will increase to work further and enrich your and to come out of your failure and work for success with new vigor. There are some long-term measures for stress management. They are holistic stress management, because we have to understand that mechanical student and civil engineering students will know, or even any physics student can know, that stress, what is stress? Stress is the restoring force per unit area. This is the stress strain that we study in our engineering and science. So stress is restoring force per unit area. Similarly, in the spiritual vocabulary also, the stress is the external pressure that are upon us divided by our inner coping ability. So because we have no control over the external pressure, those pressures will always be there and we cannot change the people and the situation. So pressure will always be there. So in order to reduce stress, the only thing you can do, we can reduce the denominator. Sorry, we can increase the denominator. Now increasing denominator here means we can increase our inner coping ability. How can you increase your inner coping ability? There are techniques for that. So, and one such technique is that one such philosophy is that you reduce your frequency of thoughts. Because when you reduce your frequency of thoughts, then what happens? The frequency will be low and the wavelength will be large. Alright, the thoughts are forms of energy and they are spread out in the form of sinusoidal waves. So these waves will have low frequency and high wavelength if the number of thoughts per unit time is less. So there are different stages, like beta stage, alpha stage, theta stage and delta stage. So as you meditate, as you try consciously to reduce the number of thoughts per unit time, then you keep migrating from beta to alpha, alpha to theta, like that. And delta is the highest stage called the samadhi. And even if you don't attain that, that is the highest stage of meditation. At least let us try to go from beta to alpha. And if you go from beta to alpha by reducing the number of thoughts per unit time by some extent, then also you will feel relaxed and stressed out. There are, as I told you, there are short-term measures that I have listed. There are long-term measures as well, and those are the mind management techniques. And these techniques, although I say techniques, actually these techniques are under the umbrella of one simple technique, that is meditation. Meditation is the only technique for transformation, because only when you meditate, you calm down yourself and you do not allow thoughts to get generated in your mind in a very haphazard, fast and chaotic manner. So in that case, your thought process becomes very organized and very systematic and very slow, and you feel comfortable. Your mental health will be stable, and you feel mentally happy and spiritually enriched. There are a host of techniques available under the umbrella of meditation. Some of them are Isa Kriya, Sudarshan Kriya, Raja Yoga meditation, Sambhavi Mahamudra, and the list is very long. But if you want meditation technique to be practiced, then you should search for the actual teacher who can teach you, and only under the supervision of a teacher you can start following the meditation slowly, and you will see that one day you have mastered the art of managing your mind, controlling your mind, and your mind will listen to you. The day when the mind will listen to you, you will be declared mentally and mentally having perfect health. So thank you, students. And if you want a little more about meditation techniques, different meditation techniques, then you can visit my YouTube channel, Alok Sir Speaks. There are some stress management talks in this, and there are also hints about some meditation techniques. And you can always contact me. I am available